Welcome to the Right Club podcast, where the focus is on helping you, the real estate investor, advance to the next level. And now let's join this week's hosts and share ways for you to customize your life.
So I think a big opportunity right now is taking the capital out of those ones and moving it into a vacant rental property or a transition rental property. So finding a place that, even if it's a single family, duplex, triplex, or maybe you need to do a little bit of work to convert it, and not necessarily, like, I don't know how the BRRRR would work in this, so I don't want to say that you get your money out of it necessarily. You might, but the rents are climbing so quickly, especially in our areas, that even at a rate, and I'm proud to say I'm a subprime borrower because I've got so many mortgages, and I'm not offended by that, okay? But I have to pay quite a high interest rate on a lot of my mortgages. But even I found a triplex that we were able to negotiate, and it was significant. I sold one for 5. I've leveraged up now to 1.2, but the cash flow on it is almost $1,800 a month. So the fact that you can still, I personally think that now acquiring a property right now with existing tenants, I think is a challenge, because you're going to be with those tenants for a long time, as far as I'm concerned. But if you find one where it's vacant and you want to do a little bit of work, or single family and it's vacant, I find those rents right now are conducive to be able to put down a 20% still, get a reasonable mortgage at 6%. That's right. I didn't think I'd be saying a reasonable mortgage at 6% a year ago, but I am today. And you can still cash flow. I think it still comes down to those numbers. And I think that opportunity right now still exists today, similar to how it did 3 years ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago. I think that opportunity exists almost a little bit easier now, because you've got condition of sales now. The market's not as hot as what it was. I can, we don't want to not necessarily put in the stink offer that's, 200 grand below, but you can put in a little bit lower offer, and you can put it in conditional on your financing and home inspection right now. And I think that's an opportunity that does exist today, because I don't know about you, but I think a lot of people are still on the sidelines. A lot of people are still waiting.
And I'm guessing that some of them are waiting because the interest rates are still going to be going up. I mean, at the time of this recording, we've got an interest rate coming in the next 2 days.
Correct.
It's pretty much guaranteed. Where do you see things kind of settling out? I mean, you're hoping to see something in early 2023 where it's going to level out and we might start to see it drop, or?
Oh gosh, I'm going to add this to the collection of incorrect forecasts by Brian Hogben. Okay, so we'll put that on there. I'll just put that disclaimer on there right now too. But now that I've got that out of the way, a lot of us mortgage brokers that have been in the business for a while, I think people remember that, we look to the Bank of Canada and we look to economists, right? And as we were talking before, the goalposts seem to change a lot based on information that comes out. Okay. But according to a lot of the economists that I look at, people are like, and a lot of the economists actually act as advisories to the Bank of Canada. And a lot of them are saying right now, you got to pause. Okay. It's like, telling your friend or something that's had too much to drink. It's like, you got to just chill out for a second. Okay. Like maybe have some water instead of another shot of whiskey. Okay. And a lot of and I think that's good advice. We're seeing that nationally. I don't think we're going to see the pause this week. We're going to see probably a half to 3/4. We're sitting here, for our October 26th rate hike. We're probably going to see another quarter in December is what the market's pricing in. But many people are advising to pause, because the reality is these rate hikes, they don't have effect for 6 months, right? There's such a lagging effect on someone. Like I was just doing, I'm such a nerd. I was doing some numbers today. The average person on a $500,000 mortgage, since rates went up, if they had a 25-year AM, they're all, I don't want to say only out, but they're out $2,600. So when you look at that, 26, and that's not per month. That's since the rates went up in March till today, they're out $2,600. So if you put that into perspective, it's not great, but at the same time, $2,600, if you put that on a line of credit, when we're coming out of a moment in time where nobody had debt. I know there's some people that got hurt in that, but unsecured credit was at historic lows coming out of the pandemic, right? So now if the average person has only had to put, that's really getting chopped Do you know what I mean? With these rates going up, the average person has only had to put an extra $2,600 on their line of credit. That's not great, but that's not going to hurt for another 6 months, right? Because now the rates have gone up higher. So I think all that's to say that I'm very hopeful that we eventually see that pause. I know that the economists are urging the Bank of Canada to do that. And I'm hopeful that, the rates, after any type of recessionary times, you do see rates come down again. Will that be in 2023? A lot of people are saying Q4, the end of 2023, if we peak and then come down. I'm hopeful. It could be sooner, if things start to take effect sooner, but it's likely we won't see rates change for another year after we've seen these increases. Will it keep going up? Oh gosh, I don't know. If we have another like black swan event, if there's a crazy dictator with his finger on the button, maybe like something else will happen. But I think it all comes down to, comes down to your payment, comes down to making wise financial decisions and cash flow as well too, because these are such tough conversations to answer. I tell you, such tough ones.
Thanks for listening to the Right Club podcast, where the focus is on helping all levels of real estate investors advance to the next level and help you customize your life. Be sure to tune in next week at reiteclub.com/podcast or wherever you listen to podcasts. And if you get a few seconds, please rate the podcast wherever you're listening. It helps the show get noticed by others like you, and we truly appreciate it. And don't forget to subscribe.